Thanks for having me, Sean.
Uh,
Honestly, this tariff talk raises more questions than answers.
it really does. And that's really kind of where I want to start because it sounds, you hear Trump, you hear tariffs, it's almost like business as usual. But this time, it's a service that is receiving a heavy dose. What kind of signal does this send? What's his strategy, do you think?
I mean, nobody's even clear what legal authority Trump has to slap 100% tax on movies, and studios are scratching their heads to figure out how you even enforce something like that. I mean, modern films aren't made in one place anymore; they're global.
Just by the definition, I mean, a global blockbuster. It kind of means you need to have that support, you need to have that input, you need to have something from overseas. Now, I'm not a movie mogul, but most moviegoers know that like we talked about, these things are filmed all over the place. This shift in movies, if indeed it is made, or do you think it's going to be perhaps an empty threat that we've heard from him in the past?
I mean, like you were saying about the globalness of movies. I mean, take Black Panther. I'm in Atlanta, where they shot Black Panther, but they also shot it in Busan, South Korea. Mission Impossible lives and breathes in foreign location, and even Marvel, which relies on Canada, UK, and Australia for their films. You're not just punishing a tariff. Just doesn't punish foreign films; it punishes American blockbusters. And let's be real, studios have shown that they'll cave under pressure. I mean, late night comedians like Kimmel and Colbert have been political targets. Lawsuits that kept Hollywood on its heels, and even as journalists, like firsthand, uh, Sony once touted DEI, but today they rarely even invite black journalists to cover their films. If they'll roll over on that, imagine how quickly they're going to fold when Trump waves this 100% tariff in
Yeah,
their face.
yeah, you make a good point about how, especially politicians in this country, really aren't pushing back, but other nations are, and for the UK and Canada and countries such as that, uh, often these tax breaks and incentives come with producing movies overseas to lure that production to their shores. How do you think these nations are going to counter these proposed tariffs, and what's it going to do in the long run?
I mean, if any of you have ever sat through Marvel movie to watch the bonus scenes and the credits, I mean, you're watching 3,000 to 5,000 jobs scroll by. Many of those names are overseas jobs. I mean, visual effects, post production, whole crews, and the U.S. film industry has run a $15 billion trade surplus. We're one of the few industries where America is winning globally. So a tariff is like slashing your own tires while driving on the freeway. I don't know what the foreign markets are going to do, but I mean, we depend on global box office, so they're probably going to do the same thing for our films coming over there. It's not making any sense for the consumer or for the theaters. I mean, every year at CinemaCon, exhibitors decide how many screens they're reserved for these big tentpole movies. If tariff shrinks those films, theaters lose big, and audiences forget about inflation. That $20 bucket of popcorn could hit $40 to offset the tariff.
Okay, now this idea was floated uh, back in May, and it really caught Hollywood by surprise. But some were on board, especially in California, where the movie industry has suffered, bringing movies back to the U.S., helping that market specifically. Uh, can you see any benefit of a tariff like this?
I mean, I think the solution is not the tariff; it's giving better tax incentives for these companies to shoot their productions here in the U.S. or instead of the UK or Canada. I mean, the jobs that's left Atlanta because Marvel, which has shot over 2 dozen movies in Georgia, is now leaving for the UK and Canada because of the tax incentives have expired. It's better to give tax incentives than to demand that movies are shot here. I mean, what are we going to do? We're going to shoot the next James Bond movie in Boise, Boise, Idaho, just to keep the MAGA base happy. I mean, these movies are set overseas for many reasons. You can't just force the productions to always be here, but you can make it better for local producers that have incentives to hire and work in local markets.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see the screen, but we just had Netflix up a short while ago. How do you believe something like this is going to hurt the streaming platforms that are really taking off here in the U.S.?
I'm not sure. I just got into these Korean dramas on Netflix, And I'm hoping that these tariffs don't prevent us from here domestically watching these global pictures that we've been allowed to see on streamers like Netflix. It's opened up the market for films in different markets to be shared by to be enjoyed by us. I mean, the language dubs, the subtitles have made movies and movies that's not even blockbuster movies that's going to be on the screen more to a global audience. So I don't think attacking that, especially at a time when theaters and box office have been shrinking. I mean, ever since the pandemic, we've been struggling to get those people in the seat that we was having there before. I don't think that this is a solution to make it harder to make films or to punish films that have people that are working on films all over the world. So I hope it's not going to affect. I hope he backs off on this, but who knows? I mean, people that are investing in films. I mean, if you say you got $100 million budget,
Yeah.
but it's made, is it now you got to clear 200 million just to get into black? I mean, it's throwing everything off from the long tail of making a film, which isn't something that you could just pivot on
Yeah.
like quick.
Okay, Jamaal, my friend, thank you so much for your insight. Well, it's going to be an interesting ride, so buckle up.
Thank you for having me.